everybody, welcome back. It is a very gloomy day here in Michigan. If you can't tell by the lighting, I don't have photography lights or anything like that to do this, so if I'm a little weirdly lit or if I look a little weird color-wise, I'm not sick or anything. I look really red right now because it's very, very, very gloomy. It's been rainy for a week now. I haven't felt like doing anything, so that might be why I haven't been able to post videos in a bit. Today I wanted to talk about my spinning fibers because I have a whole lot of spinning fibers that I want to work with, but at the moment I'm currently going through what I'm calling my practice fibers. And the reason they're my practice fibers, it's not because they're in any way, shape, or form bad. It's because they were given to me with my spinning wheel by the friend who gave me my spinning wheel. I was in the market for a spinning wheel back in, I want to say January of 2017. I kind of was diving headfirst into a lot of my crafts because we had had a loss in the family. Some of you, if you've been watching from the very beginning, you know that my husband and I had lost a child in 2016 to a genetic disease. And one of the things that I did to kind of help myself in a lot of ways escape the pain, but in also a lot of ways try and heal as much as I could, was I dove into my creative things that I did. And so one of the things that I wanted to do is I wanted to get a spinning wheel. Spinning has been very meditative and therapeutic. I've had a drop spindle for a very, very long time. And so I know that I enjoy spinning, but drop spindles are very slow and they take a lot more, in my opinion, physical concentration. The way I have to sit in front of a drop spindle, my back starts to hurt very quickly. So drop spindle spinning was not really the best option for me at the time. And so I was just pricing out spinning wheels. I had posted on my Facebook if anybody knew of a place where I could maybe get a used one. And one of my best friends in the whole world, his mother has been just a second mom to me in a lot of ways, even though we don't keep in a ton of contact. The last few years we haven't really talked that much, but all through my early 20s, she was second mom to me. I spent a lot of time at their house. She loved that I was a knitter, and she had an extra spinning wheel she wasn't really using. She usually used this one just for plying. It is a Louet S15, and she just gave it to me along with a whole bunch of fiber. She used to raise sheep, and she would dye all of their fiber and she would sell the wool. Well, they had to move to a smaller house with a smaller yard, and so she can't have sheep anymore, and she isn't really doing a lot of yarn and fiber selling anymore. So she gave me these, like, I'm talking almost as tall as me, bags like this big around. You can't really see because my hands are out, but they were huge. Like you could hug them like a human. Like that's how big they were, of fiber. And I've shown you a while ago, I showed you some really pretty blue with like little wisps of white. I refer to it as clouds in a periwinkle sky. I remember that because I thought it was a really, really good way to describe it. I'm still working on that because there was so much of it. I've gotten, I want to say, like 3 hanks out of it now, and that's the one that's on my spinning wheel right now. And so I think right now I'm going to go through the bag of the random fiber colors that she gave me. There's not a lot of each of these. So on top of the ones that I'm showing you today, there was also a really pretty earth tones one and some dark blue that I have spun that had like some black in it. And I really, really liked both of those. You know me in earth tones, as you can see, I really like my greens and oranges and stuff. And the earth tones one, I was so excited to spin with it. And it was the first one I did. And I kind of wish I had waited a bit longer when I was a little better with it. But what I ended up doing is weaving with it because it was so thick and thin and so slubby. I needed something that wasn't going to show the imperfections in the yarn like knitting would or crochet, because then it was so thick and thin that the fabric would end up being fairly uneven. And so I wove with it because when you're weaving, it presses the fibers into each other a little bit better. And I used a really thin, very smooth, I want to say it was like a micro spun or something. It was an acrylic, I think, micro spun that I had. Here it is. So to warp it, I used the Sensations Cuddle, and I don't remember much about this yarn. I had bought this years and years ago to make a green and brown blanket for my daughter. I have some light green as well, because all of her baby stuff was green and brown. We had always said that we wanted two kids, and as stated before, we found out we're not a good genetic match, and so we never had a second child. But because we'd always wanted to have two kids, I bought everything in green and brown because those were colors that I liked, and in my opinion, because they're earthy colors and all of her stuff was like forest themed, that would be a good one to go with. That would be a good color combo to go with. So I was gonna knit her a blanket. I never did. I did knit her a hat with that though, really cute. And we think the pattern is called Lil Mitty Bean on Ravelry. It's like one of those like pointed aviator cap looking ones that tied under her chin. She wore it for a long time. She's always had a pumpkin head, and that pumpkin head just hasn't gotten that much bigger over the years. It's just she's catching up to it. When she gave me the spinning wheel, I know part of it was just her being kind to me and wanting to kind of help me on my journey of learning how to live after something so horrible happening to me and my family. And so I was so grateful. And then she gave me all of this fiber for free. She just gave it to me. It was like, here, you can have this. And so here's this is the little bag I have. So my mother-in-law gets me these almost every year. They're the 31 bags, and I have so many of them now. You'll probably see more of these later. But anyway, so I've got 31 bags full of fiber and yarn all over the house. It's so bad, and I use it. I have a really cool one that I use for carrying projects around in too. So I have one full size, and then this little ball of this color way, which is like this really pretty mustard yellow and pink. Now follow me on Instagram. I post whenever I'm done with a hank of yarn, whenever I'm done spinning on a bobbin and I get it into hank form, I always post it on my Instagram. And so please follow my Instagram, because you can see these colors a lot better when I post them there. Because right now it's not going to do them justice because the lighting is kind of bad in here, but check out my Instagram. I always take better lit photos for that. So the other colors I have this one. I can't wait to spin with this one. This looks like Twilight Sparkle's hair from My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, doesn't it? Isn't it so pretty? I absolutely love that one. Probably gonna spin it and make some fingerless mitts with it. I think there'll be enough to do that and maybe a hat. And this fiber is a little bit softer than I had the dark blue and black fiber and the earth tone fiber that I have already spun with. Those were a little more rustic, and these have a slightly less rustic feel to them. One of the good things about these as well is they still have a bit of that lanolin feel. My hands feel so good after spinning with these. So then I've got this really lovely green I'm saving for like a rainy day. I'm saving because I want to make sure I'm really good before I spin with them. This really lovely teal, and you can see there's still like some plant fibers in here because they are, homegrown. And then this one that's blue and like dark blue and light blue. These are all the random colors. I've only got 1 or 2 balls of. So these will be things I'm either gonna work in something together when I go to knit with them, or that I'm going to make small projects with. My first ever spinning project I did was at my friend Megan's house on her spinning wheel. She has a really cool, like high-end spinning wheel that she like saved for and did a lot of research on, and she let me spin on it. So we got this alpaca fiber from the Midwest Fiber and Folk Art Fair, which I don't think is going on anymore. It was just outside of Chicago, which is where I lived at the time. And it was, I liked it because they put the name of the animals on it, and the alpaca that we got some of our fiber from was Nacho. And like to this day, her son has this toy alpaca that's like this big that she got that year, and they named it Nacho. And like he lost it once, and they had to go and find the seller that they got it from and get another one. Like he loves it that much. And I think they bought 2 that time in case he lost it again. So Nacho is still like a whole thing with us. The first time I ever got to spin was on her spinning wheel, was on Megan's spinning wheel with the nacho fiber. And then I have a ton of this. This is just one little ball of it. I have, here, I'm just gonna tilt the camera so you can see. So both this one and the one underneath, this brightly colored one down here, are full of this fiber. So I have just a ton of that. That's probably going to be the next one I work with, because it's like, I have to have like a sweater weight of that. I have to have at least a sweater's worth. So I'm going to spin it, probably make myself like a nice rustic sweater. I'm going to try and spin it thick enough to be a worsted weight single ply. I think that that'll have a lot of good halo to it. I think I'm going to do just kind of like a nice, almost like fluffy sweater, but we'll see. I still am not perfectly versed in spinning, but we'll figure it out. So then I have my waiting for my better spinning skills bag. And I'm waiting on a lot of these because they're either really fine or they were gifted to me. I have a lot of spinning fiber that was gifted to me when we lost our youngest daughter. I had some friends I was in a Trying to Conceive Ravelry group, and I was in a Healing After Pregnancy Loss Ravelry group. Ravelry was a lifesaver to me during both when we were trying to conceive our daughter and I was told that I couldn't conceive, and I after the miscarriage I had, and after the after losing Ivy to this genetic disease. And the women in these groups are so wonderful. They knit me this beautiful Afghan just as like a comfort piece, and I still like to snuggle up under it. It's all like green colors. And a few friends that I made in those groups sent me spinning fiber when they heard that I'd gotten a spinning wheel. And it's just, I appreciate so deeply that other people in the craft community are so open and so happy to share in their crafts, and that they understand, even if to some people on the outside it seems a little bit shallow, that crafting can be so important to the healing process after having such a devastating loss. So a lot of this was gifted to me, and I haven't spun with it yet. And I think it's so silly that I haven't spun with it yet, but I want to get really good at spinning before I work with some of these because they're just beautiful. And I think I need to just sit down after I'm done with this blue, and instead of diving directly into the red and purple, I think I want to spin a few of these and make myself some things with them because they're beautiful. It was a heartfelt gift, and I can't just sit there and look at them and worry that I'm not going to be doing something right with them, you know? So here is the little bag of gift fibers that were sent to me by a friend. Please excuse the crinkling. It's a very crinkly bag. So this is Yak Merino, and it's so soft, and I feel like this one's going to spin like just an absolute dream. There. This is merino, and the colors in this are gorgeous. I might, because there's not a lot of each of these, I might combine some of them because a lot of the colors go together really well. And they were chosen for me because I like these colors. So this is from Corgi Hill Farm. This is Blueface Leicester and Silk. Once again, greens and browns and blues. And this set was like put together by somebody who went to my Ravelry page and looked at like what colors I liked, and they picked them out accordingly. And some of these, I think they also maybe looked at some of my projects because there's a lot. This is another one from Corgi Hill Farms. I think she messaged me and told me, either she messaged me or she wrote it in the letter that she sent me, that this is one of her favorite fiber companies to get spinning fiber from. But this is a merino, superwash merino, and Tussa silk. I'm guessing because it says Tussa, and I know Tussa is a type of silk. I love their little mirror on the back. Isn't that cute? So, ooh, this one's got a little heart. This is Tussa silk, and it's got such a nice hand to it. I really love the way it's a lot of halo. This one I may spin and then ply with something else. I may play with plying on this one. I feel so bad that I never spun with these because they're so beautiful, and sometimes I just like to squish them, and I just really wanted to get good at spinning before I used them, and now I realize how silly I've been. So this is also Corgi Hill Farms Targa. I have no idea what this is. I'm guessing it's a type of sheep by the feel of it. I'm so bad at these things. I'm gonna look all this up before I spin with them. Please keep an eye on my Instagram because I am gonna show all of these when they're done. Polworth Silk. This is from Naturally Sweet. And I love these colors. Oh, this one's really pretty too. Surprise. Looks like this is also Blueface Leicester and Silk. This is another Corgi Hill Farms, Blueface Leicester and Bombyx. I know that's like a type of yak, isn't it? By the YX on the end, I think it's a type of yak. Polworth Silk. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate these into the silks and the wools, and I think I'm going to spin and make a striped hat out of the wool, and maybe some mitts out of the silk, because the silk will be really nice on my hands. And then another Corgi Hill Farms BFL and Bombyx. The next fiber I'm going to bring out was a gift from my friend Cherie, who I know watches. Hi, Cherie. I remember her giving this to me, and it's actually got a lot of the same colors in it as a really pretty yarn that she gave me that, once again, I haven't knit with because it's beautiful and I want to make sure I get just the right project out of it. I've been going through the old Knitty catalog lately, and I think one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of reevaluate the Clepotis that was so popular for a while. I really think it might be beautiful with the yarn that she gave me. And I really like scarves and that sort of thing because I don't like my t-shirts touching my neck. In the winter, it gets cold, especially like my chest will get cold. I'll wear stuff like this in the winter and just layer on like sweaters and stuff. Almost all my sweaters are boat neck or V-neck or square neck. I don't do crew neck, and I think it's called crew neck, or you know what I mean. And I have like one turtleneck sweater, and it's because I really, really like the design, and I don't want to wear it anymore. It's too much. I'll show that. I'm going to do a sweater tour soon, so let me know if that's something you want. So anyway, Cherie got me this, and I think I'm going to spin this and turn it into a scarf of some sort, or a shawlette. And then I'm going to use the yarn that she gave me that's got some of the same colors and turn that into a shawlette as well. But it's two hanks of this Malabrigo Nube. It's roving hand dyed. It's 100% merino wool. And this is 113 grams. And just judging by yarn in general, I think I might be able to get a decent amount of yardage out of this if I'm spinning it a certain way. I don't want to ply this because it's already variegated. So I think I'm going to just spin it single ply, which means this one's not going to be a Clepotis. The other one is, because it's going to have really good stitch definition. This one won't have as good stitch definition because it's going to be single ply, which is going to be loftier. So I'm probably going to pick a project that's specifically with lofty yarn. And so, but I have one more. Oh, this may not be the same color. No, it's Nube. Oh, okay. So this one's 416. And this one's 866. So they are two different ones. This one has some of the same colors as the yarn she gave me. The yarn she gave me has like this purple and this blue, but it's also got like a really pretty, vibrant, deep purple, like plum color. Oh, I'm probably also going to be doing a Holy Grail yarn vlog sometime soon, where I just talk about yarns that I'm so afraid to use because I have a few of them. So next, Smith's Creek alpacas. I got this at the Lavender Festival in 2017. So I got a couple of them. I got them in, I think they're all very similar in color. I think this one's slightly redder, more of like a ready color, and then these were like just little bags. You can see there's price tags on them and everything. So they were $4 each for an ounce. So I've got 3 ounces. and I got them at the Lavender Festival in Armada, Michigan, which I think it's moved because I believe it isn't doing that anymore. They do have like a little building you can go into and buy like Lavender Festival type things, but I don't think they're having the Lavender Festival there anymore. I got this at the Lavender Festival as well, and the ladies at this booth, I remember them very clearly. They were very, very nice people, and this is from, let's see, they may not be doing this anymore, but Antullet, T-U-L-L-E-T-T, Luxury Natural Fibers, Oak Street in Allenton, Michigan. So they sell spinning wheel rovings, they have classes, and they also have a fiber group that gathers. I'm going to see if any of this is still going on because like I said, this was from 2017, but this is camel fiber, and I'm going to try and lift it very carefully because it's so fragile. The camel fiber is very fragile. I don't know how I'm going to spin with this. Like, look how like cobwebby and gentle this is. It feels really nice. I think half the reason I haven't spun with this is because I like to just pick it up and squish it. It's a lot of my fibers, isn't it? I just like to pick it up and squish it. So we're gonna move on to the very first fiber I ever bought. I started drop spindling with this. My drop spindle currently has some of this on it. So I don't remember anything about it. I'm sure it's like a merino. It feels very woolly. It feels very lanolin-y, just like the stuff that I got from my friend's mom. And, but once again, like you can see, it's beautiful and it's amber colors, and I love the green. I still, once again, like I still haven't knit freaking socks from my yarn box. I keep getting distracted by other projects, which I will talk about in another video. Oh, this is another one that I got from the Smiths Creek alpaca from the Lavender Festival. 5 ounces for $4, y'all. It's alpaca. Just a nice, it's like a very, very, very dark brown. It's probably black, like when you really look at it, it's considered black, but for for alpaca. But you can tell in this, even in this dull light, it's a very, very dark brown. And this stuff feels amazing. One thing I've noticed about alpaca, and tell me if you've noticed this too, everybody. Alpaca feels cool to the touch. Like, you know how when you curl up under a cotton quilt, like that's this like nice warm fuzzy feeling because you're under the quilt, but the fabric itself feels cool so you don't overheat. That's alpaca. You run alpaca through your fingers. You're knitting with it, you put it on your skin, it warms up to you, it insulates you, but you don't get overheated. For some reason, it almost feels cool to the touch, but not cold. Like it's very warm, it's very squishy, it's really, really comforting, but it's not overheating. Maybe that's why I like alpaca so much, because I overheat so easily, which is why I have so much alpaca. These are, oh, this is roving that I got from Wish. So I will make sure to do a whole video on this because I know everybody's very interested about Wish. I got this roving off of Wish. It was probably like $2 shipped. And I will spin with it. I'm going to ply them. I'm going to spin each one and then I'm going to ply them. That's going to be a good lesson on plying for me because I am not great at it yet. So we'll see. I am going to set this bag aside and wash it is what I'm going to do. So next, and this is the, okay, next, and this is the last. I got these off of Etsy. This is from a company called Mohair and More. It's mohairandmore.com. I'm almost certain I got every one of these off of Etsy. This is natural flax top. So it's for spinning linen yarn. And I got this color from them, this camel color. This is basically undyed. And I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 16 ounces of it. And then I've got 1 pound of bleached flax from Blue Moon Alpacas. So bluemoonalpacas.etsy.com. And it's a full pound of, so like once again, 16 ounces of bleached linen, or bleached flax for making linen. So One of the reasons I wanted to get into spinning and weaving, and this is going to sound so stupid, I absolutely love the Mists of Avalon, and they talk a lot about linen and making linen items and dyeing linen and working with linen. And so I'm looking forward to spinning and then dyeing the yarn from this flax top that I have and seeing the different ways that they take the dye. I'm going to probably use, I'm going to go out and get myself like a nice deep green dye. And I might even weave with them instead of knit with them, because they weave with them in the book. So that is all my spinning fiber for now. It probably doesn't even seem like that much when you think about how much yarn I have, but I got so much spinning fiber from my friend's mom. Anyway, that is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to continuing telling you guys all about all the great stuff that I've been doing in my craft room. Right now I'm getting ready for Witchtoberfest in Flint. This will probably come out after I go to that though. And then I am also going to be doing a book review soon, and I'm going to be doing a podcast review soon, because there's a new podcast out that I want to talk to everybody about. So both of those will probably be fairly short because they're single item reviews, but we'll see. Also, let me know what you want to see first, if you want to see my shawl collection or if you want to see my sweater collection. The sweater collection will probably also involve some of the things I've made for my daughter. A few of them she's unfortunately grown out of now, and I don't know what I'm going to do with those cute sweaters. Anyway, that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, Etsy, Tumblr, all that stuff. All of the links will be down in the description. I am Be My Full Moon on Instagram, Tumblr, Facebook, Etsy, Twitter, and Pinterest. I don't use the Twitter very much. I do have a Twitter that I do use a lot. That's Aourai, Aourai, which is also my name on Ravelry. Please check out my Facebook page. It's becoming more and more active. And I will talk to you guys all again soon. Bye.